the recording. Some of you might be new to me. So, welcome, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. Some of you know who I am, but for those of you that don't, I am a mother of 11, now grandmother of 28, and a great grandmother now. I am a private music instructor, violin, piano, and organ. I have been teaching for 51 years now. I am a trained certified life mastery consultant with the Brave Thinking Institute with Mary Morrissey, a trained certified dream builder coach, certified Reiki master, a double certified foot zone practitioner, certified EFT tapping practitioner, independent distributor with Marketplace Global. But most importantly, and I'm not sharing all of this with you I'm not bragging, but just for you to know who I am. I do all of these things because the most important thing is I love helping other people. One who cares, and I love empowering other people just like you with amazing tools to enable you to create the life that you really, really love. So that's who I am. So hopefully you have pen and paper. You definitely will want to take some notes. We will record this, but please take notes because if you have any questions, I will answer some questions at the end. So welcome, welcome. My intention and promise to you is to empower you with three tools, to give you everything that I can in the time that we have. And all I ask in return is for you, if for those of you that can put your videos on, put your videos on. If you have any questions, write them down. We'll address that at the end. And let's just play full out. I'm willing to play full out, and I hope that you will do the same. So I will empower you with three tools to help you with some awareness with what's going on in your life. Hopefully give you some clarity, and maybe a starting plan to what you can do to move forward. It doesn't matter where you live, it doesn't matter your religious beliefs, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. It doesn't matter your age. Age is a number. My mother next month will be 94 years young, and she still creates goals for herself to move forward. In fact, a couple of weeks ago when I was helping her, she says, I feel like my fingers, because she still plays the piano, she said, I feel like my fingers are getting stiff. I think I'm going to pull out some Mozart. So she was going to pull out some Mozart, something she hadn't learned in all these 94 years, and start something new. That she is such an example to me of it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, and your age. What matters is your outlook on life. And I just absolutely love that. So let's just notice what you're noticing for a minute. Let's just take a look at a couple of things. Have you, or do you now, or have you ever felt overwhelmed, exhausted, tired, stressed out, full of inflammation? Maybe you feel like that you've got a lot of inflammation and swelling going on. I know I had a time when I felt like I couldn't hardly move my legs and my feet because they were so full of inflammation. Overweight, or maybe I should add underweight. There are some people that have a hard time. I have a sister-in-law that had a hard time keeping the weight on. What about feeling burned out? What about having trouble sleeping or getting to sleep or staying asleep? So I want you to look at this list. Look at this list here and write down. And if you want, you can take a screenshot of this if you'd like, but write down any of these that you are struggling with. And maybe you are struggling with all of them. Which ones are the top three that you feel like that you struggle with the most? So take a look at this. Here's the list. So pick three. that you feel like that you struggle with the most? Got it? Now, have you heard these phrases? Change your thoughts, change your outcome. Or if you change the way you look at things, then the things that you look at change. A lot of us, we hear, if you've done personal development, we think, oh, I'm just going to change my thinking and that's going to change everything. If I change how I think, change my thoughts, then then that's going to change what I do. Let's say, okay, I've struggled most of my life with weight. So if I just change my thinking and I have more positive attitude, then that's going to help me more with the desire to lose weight. Then I will eat better and all the things. Mindset has a lot to do with things, but is that everything? I was taught for so many years everything is in the mindset. Everything's in the mind. Change your thinking and you're going to change everything or change your world. That's a lot of it, but it's not everything. And this last few years, I have learned, especially this last year, that's not everything. What about your nervous system? Everything that we have experienced in our life does affect our thoughts, it affects our emotions, but a lot of these things are programmed and those memories are stored in our nervous system. And then we start having, we start thinking to ourselves, well, I'm not good enough. Well, maybe that's a thought, an experience, but it's also deeper. It's in our nervous system. And so we want to address the nervous system on some different levels. So, our nervous system, and especially we'll talk a little bit about the vagus nerve, but our nervous system, I mean, it starts from the brain and it goes through our whole body. And so, no matter what happens to us, we have this nervous system that is very important and necessary to address in order for us to kind of let go of that stress or those experiences, the negative experiences that I should say, challenges that we've been through in the past. So, what really is our nervous system? The nervous system is the body's primary command and communication network. It's responsible for controlling actions, our thoughts, our sensations, and involuntary functions like our breathing and our heart and just, I mean, our whole body. There's so many things, the blinking. Sometimes we get blinking and our heart is beating, and all these things are happening behind the scenes. We don't even think about. We don't have to think about it. We don't have to say, okay, finger move, heart beat, lungs breathe. I mean, yes, we will breathe in and we can control that, but there's just these things that just happen on an automatic system. It just is automatic. And it's composed of the brain, the spinal cord, and a vast, complex network of nerves. Like I mentioned, we'll talk a little bit about the cranial nerve, which is one of the largest cranial nerves that we have. It's the 12th cranial nerve. Our nervous system transmits the electrical and chemical signs between the brain and the rest of the body. So when we have an experience that happens to us, I when I was about 2 years old, I we had, well, I was about 18, 19 months old. My mom had another baby. And I was actually 17 months old when she had the baby, but I was just little. And I remember, this is my recollection, this bassinet, this cute little wicker basket bassinet on legs and wheels. And I remember hearing the baby in there. And I wanted to see the new baby. And my mom wasn't in the room. So I went over, and I wasn't quite big enough to see over the bassinet. And I remember grabbing that bassinet to try to pull myself up so that I could see that little brand new baby. And I pulled the bassinet over. And my recollection, my memory is as that tipped over, the baby rolled out of the bassinet. And I was horrified. And the baby started crying. And of course, the baby was all bundled up in the blankets and was protected. But I remember being horrified. One, that I was afraid I had hurt my baby sister. Two, I was going to get in trouble. And I remember running, just hurrying and hiding behind the couch that was right there. I hid and I did not want to come out. And I remember my mom. It's amazing the things that we can remember at such a young age. Now, what we remember at the time may not be the truth, but it becomes our truth. It becomes our truth. And I remember my mom trying to get me to come out from behind the couch and in her tender voice saying, "It's okay. The baby's okay. Come out." And I remember her, my mom, putting me up on the couch, sitting me by her, and even letting me hold that brand new baby because she knew that I wanted to hold the baby. And that was very tender. But I still, in my mind, I was not good enough because I had hurt my baby sister. And so I kind of carried some of this that I'm not good enough. Those types of things we have in our mind, but it also was programmed into my nervous system that Kayleen isn't good enough. So as I grew up and did other things, it didn't matter how hard I tried and how hard I practiced at the piano and competitions and all these things that I did. I didn't feel like I was good enough. And then later, as I got married and started having children, I didn't feel like I was a good enough wife, a good enough mother. It didn't matter. And it just grew. That belief that was stored in my nervous system became my truth. It wasn't the truth because people would say, "Oh, you did beautiful." And I was competition winners and all these things through high school, but I still didn't feel I was good enough. So, how can we reprogram? How can we reset the nervous system? Now, are we going to do it in one day today? No, we're not. But I am going to give you a few things that may be helpful. Whatever is going on in your life and whatever you are facing now, or whatever you've faced in the past, there are some things that we can do. Sound good? So, why is this important? The vagus nerve, which is the cranial nerve, the main cranial nerve, we have several cranial nerves. Most of the cranial nerves in our brain that go from our brain and have different functions. Many of them have just one function. We have one cranial nerve that its specific thing is for the eyes, one for the ears, the hearing, one for the taste, one for the smell, one for the touch. The vagus nerve is has like 1100 functions. It is the main cranial nerve that goes from the brain to the gut, and it has a lot of effect on everything in between, all of the pancreas, the liver, the lungs, the heart, all of these things. And so primary that it is a driving force for the parasympathetic nervous system. We talked about things that just um, go by itself, but the cranial nerve is promoting the rest and digest functions. So I want to ask yourself, do you feel if you're feeling stressed, you're probably, I was stressed after I lost a baby and after I lost a husband, and some of you have had losses in your life. I know that some of you have, and some kind of a loss. It might even just be a child moving out of the house, the last one moving out. It might be losing a pet, might be losing a loved one. And we have this stress and it kicks in the adrenaline and we just run on stress. We run in this fight or flight mode. And it's so important for us to kind of calm that nervous system down because as we have this stress, this we're in this fight, flight, fight, fright mode that puts extra stress on our heart, our digestion, our immune response, our mood. It affects everything in our body. I didn't realize how much I lived in fight or flight mode. So let's just take a moment. And I know I can't, for those of you that are off camera, I can't see you, but let's just take a moment and hold on. I've just got somebody coming in here. Good morning. Good morning. We're just getting ready to do a little, I just got through talking about the, a little bit about vagus nerve and the nervous system, and you can watch the replay. I'm recording this. So Tony, welcome. So let's just take a moment here. Let's notice yourself. So I invite you to be able to notice you and your environment, what's happening right now. I invite you to close your eyes. Let's just take a deep breath in. Notice, how is your breathing? Are you breathing fast? Have you been rushing? Are you stressed about something? Are you worried about something? Are you breathing calm? Are you breathing shallow? Are you breathing deep? Now notice, what are you feeling? How are you feeling? Are you feeling tight? Are your feet relaxed? Are your legs relaxed? Are you feeling nervous? Do you feel stressed? Do you feel tired? Do you feel rested? Do you feel calm? Take a big deep breath in and just notice how you're feeling. Now I invite you to open your eyes and write down, what was the thing that you noticed the most? And is there anyone that's willing to share how you were feeling, what you noticed? Do I have any willing ones that are here? Who's willing to share what you were feeling? Anybody? So, what if you could shift exhaustion into exhilaration, overwhelm to optimistic, stressed to serene, can't sleep to dreaming again? If any of you have had any of this exhaustion, overwhelmed, stressed, having a hard time sleeping, I had all of them. I had all of them. What if you could wave a magic wand and have what you would love to have? Here's your little magic wand. What if you could wave a magic wand? What if you could change that exhaustion to stress? What if you could be and feel the way you would love to feel in 3 years from now? And the reason I am saying 3 years is because look how fast this last year has gone. I don't know about you, but for me, this last year has gone so fast. Look at, we are in March. We're in the third month already. We're in half of the third month of the year already. Look how fast the last 3 months, the last year has gone. Now, How much has changed in the last year? Some of you, there's been a lot that has changed. Some of us, not very much has changed. We're about where we were a year ago. A year ago, when I looked at the previous year from 2024 to 2025, I looked at my year and I'm going, Kayleen, why aren't you where you want to be? It's because I wasn't doing the things to help me be where I would love to be 3 years. So take a look at 3 years, because sometimes the the amygdala part of the brain, our subconscious, says, look at you haven't made any changes this last year. What makes you think you're going to be different in a year from now? But in 3 years, the subconscious and the amygdala part of the brain says, I think we could make some changes in 3 years from now. So let's take a look. Where would you love to be 3 years from now in your health, in your relationships, your business, hobbies, finances, and your spirituality? We have five main areas. Five main areas. Now, I invite you to ask yourself this question. Have you ever felt that overwhelmed that we talked about? Exhausted, stressed out, full of inflammation, overweight. I should have added underweight because some are that way, burned out, or can't sleep. And there's many others. Maybe there's other things. And I asked you before to write down the top three. Now, we have two things: the way that we learn, the way that we live our life. We have longing and we have discontent. What's the difference between these two things? The longing is, so I'm just going to use my knee, for example. Um, 3 years ago, well, several years ago, for several years, my knee kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse, to the point that my leg was starting to bow. I was bone on bone. It was hurting so bad I could hardly walk. My longing was that I wanted to have a knee that felt good, that I could get down on the ground with my grandbabies. I could walk, I could run. Well, maybe still can't run as well. I never have been a runner, to be honest. Even when I was in high school, I would do speed walking, haha. But my longing was I wanted to feel good. I wanted to keep up more with my kids, my grandkids, and do the things that they were doing. I couldn't. I had to play catch sitting in a chair. I had to sit on a chair to do anything. I couldn't hardly walk. It hurt so bad. So my longing was I wanted to do these things. My discontent was that I hurt. I was in a lot of pain and I could not do what I wanted to do. So ask yourself the question, what are some things that you long for? What are some of your discontents? I love this quote by Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith. We are often pushed by pain until we are pulled by a vision. And isn't that true? Sometimes that pain that I had, for example, in my knee, made me want to do something. And then that, as I started healing and started doing better, and I did have 2 years ago, I had a complete knee replacement, feeling so much better. Last summer I was able to do things. I was able to play volleyball and catch and different things with my grandkids, get down, up and down, and was losing some weight so that I could feel better, so that I could get up and down. But sometimes we're pushed by that pain, and then we see that vision, and that pulls us, continues to pull us. We're often pushed by pain until we are pulled by a vision. What if we could shift? And we saw this before, that exhaustion to exhilaration, the overwhelm, this to optimistic, stress to serene, And sleep is so important. I was one that had to take so many things to get me to sleep, and I like to do natural things, but I couldn't get to sleep, and then I couldn't stay asleep. I would wake up in the middle of the night and my brain would be going everywhere. So, I'm going to offer a little bit of tapping. We're going to do a little bit of tapping. How many of you have done um, the tapping? You can click, raise your hand. But if you haven't done tapping, this will be new. If you have done tapping before, I invite you to join with me, and we're going to do a little bit of tapping to help calm the nervous system. There's several things that we can do to calm the nervous system, and but also we're talking about health today, but I will tell you that when you are addressing, we had those 5 areas. We had the health and well-being, the business, the relationships, the finances, and the spirituality. And even when you are working with one thing, it kind of creates a dominoes effect. It creates a dominoes effect. So it can affect other areas of our life as well. For those of you that have not done the EFT tapping, EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. And what we're doing is we're tapping on different acupressure points of the body, and we have meridians. They're invisible highways, nerve highways that run on through our body. We have 5 on the right and 5 on the left. And when we are addressing these acupressure points, then it stimulates these invisible nerve highways. Have you ever like bumped an elbow or and felt it up in your shoulder, or bumped somewhere like on your leg and you felt it up here? That's because those two things are running on that invisible nerve highway, that nerve highway that runs through, and that's why you do that. So I'm going to show you some of the points that we're going to address and that we'll use, and then I'm going to just go through a little bit of a tapping, a couple of rounds of tapping, and you can watch the recording and do this again. This can be very powerful, just as we address our health. Um, and if I feel inspired as we're tapping to address something else, we'll do that. So we have the side of the hand, the karate chop side of the hand, and when we start, we address the challenge or the problem that we are facing. And the reason we do that, Louise Hay, who wrote the book "You Can Heal Your Life," she's deceased now, and but wonderful, wonderful lady, full of knowledge and insight. And she says you can't clean the house unless you know where the dirt is. And so, in order to address the dirt, we need to know what it is, and that's what we do. We start here on the karate chop side of the hand. So it doesn't matter which side. You can use 2 fingers. I like to just do my whole hand like this. So we have this. Then we have inside of the eye, just the inside of the eyebrow. So if I say inside of the eye, it's inside of the eyebrow, right here, the edge of the eyebrow. And then side of the eye, it's actually here on the edge of the eyebrow, kind of on that bone right there. Under the eye is kind of in the middle of the eye where that bone is, right there. So when I say under the eye, it's right here. Under the nose, some people like to do this, some people like to do this. One finger, it doesn't matter, as long as we're just tapping on that area. And then we have under the mouth or on the chin here, which is in that kind of indentation part right there below the lip. And then collarbone. The collarbone, if you feel where your actual collarbone, we're not going to be tapping on the collarbone, but if you feel where the collarbone is, and then go about 2 inches or, just a little bit below that, you kind of massage and you kind of feel where that tender point is. That's where we're going to tap there. So when I say collarbone, it's not on the bone, but it's just below the collarbone. So I'll just say collarbone because that's shorter than saying below the collarbone. And then we have under the arm. So just it's like on the bra line for women, just below the armpit for men. I mean, it's all right there for men and women, but kind of get the idea of where that is. So you can do one side, the other side. Some people like to do both sides. Um, I like as much as possible. I used to before I lost some weight, I couldn't do this. But I personally like to do both sides if you can, because I like to address as many of the meridians and pressure points as possible at one time. Then we have the top of the head, the crown. Okay. All right. So those are the points. I will guide you through so you'll know when to change points. So I invite you to take a big deep breath in with your nose. And when you breathe out, let's tighten your lips as if you're blowing through a straw. What that does is when you're tightening, instead of just a relaxed breathing, when you tighten the lips, what that does is when you're making intentional breathing out and sending, you're tightening and it's sending a message to these nerves here in the joint in your jaw, which then goes to the brain, which then goes to the whole body, saying, I am intentional in relaxing right now. So when you breathe in to clear to your belly button, not just a chest breath, but breathe clear, a deep belly button breath. Okay, ready? In, out, like you're blowing through a straw. In, out. That's it. Now, you can do this with your eyes open, your eyes closed, whichever you want. If you haven't done this before, you might want to watch. So we're going to start with the side of the hand, and we're going to address health for now. Even though my health isn't where I want it to be, and you can repeat out loud to yourself, okay? You can repeat after me as you're tapping. I acknowledge how I feel, and I accept myself for who I am anyway. Even though my health isn't where I want it to be, I feel tired. I feel stressed. I just don't like how I feel right now. I acknowledge how I feel, and I accept myself for who I am anyway. One more time. Even though I feel stressed, overwhelmed, underappreciated, lonely, can't sleep, I acknowledge all these feelings and I accept myself for who I am anyway. Okay? Inside of the eye. All of the stress that I have been under, side of the eye, which is that side of the eyebrow there. Why do I feel so stressed? Under the eye. And I'm doing both. I'm doing both sides because I want to address meridians on both sides of the body. You can do one or the other, whichever feels comfortable for you. All of this stress that I've been under, I know it's affecting my health. Are you saying it out loud after me? Say it out loud. There's power in the body hearing your own voice. It helps. More powerful. Under the nose. I don't like how I feel right now. Under the mouth, on the chin, above the chin there. Why am I letting my stress get to me? Why can't I heal? Why can't I have the youth and the vibrancy that I really desire? And you can tap faster, you can tap slower. There's really no pace. Okay, collarbone, that's just below that bone there and that tender point there. Up until now, I have had so many challenges with my health, my relationships, my finances, my spirituality. Why am I having such a hard time bringing everything into balance? Under the arm. I don't know if you can see, just right under the arm here. I really, really would love to feel good again. Top of the head. There's so much going on around me. Inside of the eye. There's so much going on around that's affecting my emotional health. Side of the eye. There's so much going on around me that it's affecting my physical health. And just for the purpose, because I don't know everyone's situation, I am just doing a general tapping. If I was working with each of you independently, we would address your specific challenges. Under the eye. All of this stress under the mouth, under the nose, all of this overwhelm under the mouth. I worry so much about things that I can't sleep. Collarbone. Why can't I just be healthy? Under the arm. Why can't I be healthy and vibrant? Top of the head. I really want to feel better. Now we're going to stop. Take a big deep breath in. Now we've addressed some challenges. We're going to put some positive tapping inside of the eyebrow. I'm going to use how would it feel? You can pause for just a second. Sometimes it has been so long since we have felt good for some of us that when I say I feel good or I am healthy or whatever, a lot of us have learned to, we should do the I ams, but we have doubt with that. So by putting in the statement, how would it feel to fill in the blank? So I am going to do that. And then we're going to do I choose. That moves us closer to where we really would love to be. Does that make sense? So I invite you to say these out loud inside of the eye. How would it feel to feel energetic? Side of the eye. How would it feel vibrant under the eye? How would it feel to be relaxed under the nose? How would it feel to relax and sleep at night under the mouth? How would it feel to enjoy the health I would really love? Collarbone, below that collarbone. How would it feel to feel peace? How would it feel to feel calm? Under the arm. How would it feel to feel vibrant again? Top of the head. I choose peace. Inside of the eye. We're going to do one more round. I've decided to feel vibrant. Side of the eye. I've decided to feel healthy. Under the eye. I've decided to relax and sleep at night. Under the nose. I've decided to relax my nervous system. Under the mouth. I've decided to make better choices for my health. Under the arm. I've decided to feel peace. Top of the head. I've decided to love and appreciate me for who I am right now. And I'll say that one again. I've decided to love me and appreciate myself for who I am right now. You can stop tapping. Take a big deep breath in. How does that feel? I'm going to stop my share screen, and is there someone that would be willing to unmute and share your experience with that tapping? Tony, would you be willing to share? Unmute and share? Paula, would you be willing to share?
Yes, I have to figure out how to operate this. It was very relaxing and I really appreciate it.
Good, good. Well, I still have more. We're not finished yet, but I'm glad. Have you done tapping before? I think you have, haven't you?
A little bit, but not very much, not
Okay.
consistent or anything. The only problem was your line with your name and stuff went through. So basically, all we could see was tap your where you were tapping on the top of your head, and I wasn't sure where all the others were.
Oh, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what the line was.
Well, it's got the three lines. It's got your name and what you do.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for that. I didn't see anything on my screen, but well, um, but thank you for that. I'm glad that helped. I'm glad that helped.
Oh, very much.
Yeah. Um, Giorgio, do you want to share? Am I saying your name right? Would you like to share? And if not, that's okay too. I'm going to share my screen again. And can you see my screen? Paula, can you let me know if you can see my screen? Okay. So we've got some tapping, and I also have something that I found that activates the vagus nerve, that helps to calm the nervous system. There's some matured hops extract, and I'm not going to go, because of time wise, I'm not going to go into detail with this, but I will tell you that I've been using these matured hops extract with the three bitter acids in it for a year, a little over a year now. And it has calmed my nervous system. I did not know. I've done things and I've learned how to relax and to be calm, but I can honestly tell you, I have never felt the calm that I feel now since I have been taking these. It's it's I mean, it honestly is a calm I've never felt. And what it does, it addresses the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve, I'm going to show you a little bit with the vagus nerve. Um, the vagus nerve is that main one of the main cranial nerves, and here's so many of the organs of the body that it addresses. So are you able to see my screen okay, Paula? Looks like that you and I are the only one on right now.
Oh, I can see your picture fine, but up to the top, it's still got, the information that goes across from your eyes down.
What if I do that?
It's just the same.
I'm not quite sure what information that you're seeing.
Well, where you've got the picture and the diagrams and stuff, that's clear. It's your face that it's covering from your eyes down.
Huh. Okay, I'm not quite sure what's
Like I say, it says Kayleen Davis, intuitive health coach and certified life master, from your eyes down. At
huh.
least on the phone, and so I assume it's that way everywhere.
Yeah, and maybe it's your screen. I don't know.
What would I do different to get it to go somewhere else?
I'm not sure.
Because, your skeleton and your diagrams with all the different systems, those are clear.
Okay. All right. Well, don't worry about my face. Just worry about what you can see on the screen, I guess. Yeah, I'm not sure, because it's not showing that way for me. But here you can see, we've got this vagus nerve, this main vagus nerve, cranial nerve X, whoops, um, is what they call it. And you can see here, if I don't know if you can see my cursor moving, but I mean, it addresses the heart, the lungs, the liver, I mean, all of basically everything
I
inside.
can't see your cursor moving at all.
What's that?
I couldn't see your cursor moving.
Oh, you can see the picture, and you can
Yeah,
see
picture's clear.
everything from the brain clear to the gut, basically. And it addresses, so, and we have 1,100 functions. So what does this vagus nerve does? It relays sensory information from the organs such as the heart, the ears, the lungs, I mean, everything, all of our internal organs. And what happens if it's not, if it's working properly, um, some of the symptoms, if you're not working, then maybe you might have some heart and circulation troubles, maybe dizziness or fainting, if you stand up, or resting or exercise, intolerance due to abnormal rapid heart rate or rhythm. Or what about your respiratory? Sometimes we have shortness of breath or wheezing, um, or we just, it affects our digestion, not just our respiratory, but affects our digestion. So, there's so much that we could go into the vagus nerve. But if our vagus nerve, most things, challenges, and this is one thing I wish I'd have known this a long time ago, but a lot of our challenges that we experience are health challenges. And even with some of the emotion, the stress, and because of the fight or flight mode, because we are stressed and we're in fight or flight, it affects everything. When you calm that vagus nerve is activated, then in turn it calms our nervous system. It brings us into homeostasis, brings us out of that fight or flight, allows the body to calm, and then it can heal and do what it needs to. Now, I'll put a disclaimer. This is not meant to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any kind of disease, these matured hops extract. However, when you're calming the nervous system, your body can do what it needs to do because it's not having to fight to be where it needs to be, if that makes any sense. So, one thing that, I mean, for me, sleeping better and dreaming better. It also, the matured hops extract helps to address the visceral fat, which is that fat that surrounds the organs of our body. Even thin people have visceral fat, and there's toxins that are stored in that fat. So when we eliminate that, just addressing the visceral fat alone can improve health.
So
Addressing
do you,
the vagus nerve alone can help our health, but then you put the two together. You had a question?
yeah, is that, I've wondered what this was because I've seen a few of your posts, but I didn't know anything about it. Is that what you attribute your weight loss to?
Some of it, yes. And then I started eating some the whole food, plant-based, and getting rid of more of the white flour, the white sugar, and that kind of thing. But yes, I have addressing the vagus nerve and the visceral fat. Even though I haven't had a lot of weight loss, I've had more inch loss. And a lot of that is getting rid of the
You can
toxins
tell it just by looking at you.
that around. Yeah, I feel much better, and I feel like that I am, um my skin's better. I feel more vibrant. So I'm going to ask yourself this question. Where do you want to be with your health, your relationships, your business, finances, and spirituality in 3 years from now? If you aren't feeling very good, where will you be with your health and all of these other things? If you're feeling good with your health, it just has this ripple effect with everything else. So I want you to listen. I thought this was a fun song. I want you to just listen to this really quick.
This is my life.
Can you hear it? I
Yeah,
mean, can you hear it okay? Whoops.
This is my life. This is my time. I believe in
if you could make it a little louder, it'd be better.
Okay, hold on one second. I'm going to stop my share, and I think I need to do this.
Because I could barely hear it with trying hard.
Yeah, I forgot to optimize the sound.
Well, I think I have some hearing problems too.
No, it was my setting.
I believe in my dream.
Can you hear it now?
Yeah, oh yeah. I said that's jazzy.
This is my time. I believe in me. I believe in my dream. I feel the leader in me. It's coming through me. It's growing in me. It's showing. Yeah, 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 yeah. There's something big happening. It's perfect timing. It's my true calling. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm unstoppable, exceptional, incredible. My dream is coming true in my life. I'm unstoppable, exceptional, incredible. My dream is coming true in my life. This is my life. This is my time. I believe in me. I believe in my dream. This is my life.
And I'm going to stop right there.
That's
So,
cute.
this is your life. This is your dream. How do you want to live your life from now on? So, I am offering a gift for you. And for those that are watching the recording, this goes for you too. I
Oh,
am
you mean we're going to be recorded talking back and forth? I thought you'd cut it.
Oh, no, we're good. We're good. So, I'm offering a complimentary Power of Vision Clarity call for you. It's valued at $250. So, what this is you and I meet, we one on one for an hour, and we can address some of the whatever it is that you would love to address, whether it's health, relationships, whatever you would like. Um, we can address this if we need to do a breakthrough session. We can turn it into a breakthrough session, whatever you would like. But you have me for 1 hour. So that is my gift for you. And if you are watching this on your phone, you probably won't be able to scan this QR code. If you're watching on your computer, you can scan this QR code. It'll take you right to my calendar link and you can schedule um, your clarity call with me, your Power Vision clarity call. If you are watching this on your phone, just private message me and say, I would love to schedule, I would love the link for the clarity call. Okay. So, um, what if, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to stop the share here. So, in the next 12 weeks, in the next 12 weeks, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years from now, where would you love to be? Addressing the nervous system is key. And there's things that we can do, like I mentioned, the matured hops extract is very, very beneficial. And there's other things that we can do as well. So feel free to reach out to me. Let's have that clarity call and let's see what we can do to personalize something for you. So, for those of you that have been listening to the replay, thank you for being here. And I hope that you have a great day. Thank you.